As we get older, our bodies naturally go through changes. But did you know that by age 80, it's possible to lose up to half of your muscle mass compared to when you were young? This widespread issue, known as sarcopenia, affects over 50 million seniors around the world. It silently chips away at independence and strength, making everyday activities more difficult. Alarmingly, over 300,000 elderly individuals are hospitalized every year from falls caused by weakened muscles. But here's the good news. Significant muscle loss with age isn't inevitable. Studies from the Journal of Physiology reveal that some seniors defy the odds. While many in their 70s struggle with simple movements like climbing stairs or rising from a chair, others maintain strength, flexibility, and even youthful physical appearance. These super agers can hike, play sports, and live independently well into their 80s and 90s. So what's their secret? Research from the Mayo Clinic highlights certain lifestyle habits that not only slow down muscle loss, but can actually reverse it. Shockingly, about 93% of older adults are unaware of these strategies. One key practice, identified by Harvard Medical School, has been shown to help rebuild muscle, even in individuals well into their 70s and 80s, but it's often overlooked by healthcare providers. In fact, many doctors still offer outdated advice when it comes to maintaining strength in later years. That's why today's video is so important. Stick with us through the end, because the first habit we'll cover might be something you're unintentionally doing wrong every day, something that could be quietly speeding up muscle decline. Fixing this one habit might mean the difference between staying independent or becoming reliant on others as you age. Hormetic stresses, the hidden key to muscle preservation. Let's dive in with the first major habit that can transform your strength as you age, introducing hormetic stress. Now, that might sound complex, but it's actually quite simple. Many of the strongest seniors, those in their 80s who still hike, play tennis, or lift weights, regularly expose themselves to small, controlled stressors that trigger the body's natural repair and growth mechanisms. This idea is known as hormesis. It means that low doses of certain challenges, like cold, heat, fasting, or brief intense activity, can actually help your body grow stronger, even though those same stresses would be harmful in large amounts. According to the Buck Institute for Research on Aging, brief exposure to these stressors activates cellular defenses that protect and even regenerate muscle cells. Let's break that down with examples. First, we have temperature variation. Brief cold exposure, like ending your shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water or doing a quick cold plunge, can stimulate brown fat, boost mitochondrial production, and activate a hormone called adiponectin. This hormone protects your muscles from breakdown. On the flip side, heat exposure from a sauna or a hot bath triggers heat shock proteins that repair muscle damage and slow protein loss. In Finland, studies show that people who use saunas 4 to 7 times per week lost 40% less muscle over a 10-year span compared to those who didn't. The second stressor is intermittent fasting, also called time-restricted eating. When you eat all your meals within an 8 to 10-hour window, your body activates a process called autophagy. This is like spring cleaning for your cells. It clears out damaged parts and improves muscle health. Research from the Salk Institute shows that intermittent fasting can enhance muscle mitochondria function by up to 10% in just 12 weeks, even without weight loss. Now let's talk about the third stressor, short bursts of intense muscle contractions. Many superagers perform a form of training known as overcoming isometrics. It involves pushing or pulling against an immovable object, like trying to move a wall, for 5 to 10 seconds with maximum effort. These short, powerful contractions send strong signals to your muscles, helping them stay big and functional while being gentle on the joints. The beauty of these methods is that they don't need to be extreme. In fact, their power comes from how brief and targeted they are. When done properly and with adequate recovery time, these small challenges activate longevity-related genes like SIRT1 and FOXO, which play a major role in muscle maintenance as we age. Start slow, listen to your body, and gradually build up your tolerance. Remember, the goal isn't to break yourself down, it's to challenge your system just enough to trigger growth. Protein timing. When you eat matters more than you think. Let's move on to the next powerful habit: strategic protein timing. Most older adults understand that eating enough protein is important, but here's something that might surprise you. When you eat, protein may actually be more important than how much you eat. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using protein to build muscle. Scientists call this phenomenon anabolic resistance. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that rather than eating most of your daily protein at dinner, as many seniors do, it's far more effective to spread your intake evenly across all meals. Here's why. After every meal, your muscles enter a temporary state of high protein building activity that lasts about 3 to 4 hours. But if you pack all your protein into one big dinner, you're missing multiple opportunities during the day to stimulate muscle growth. The sweet spot: aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Start your morning with foods like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie, instead of just toast or cereal. At lunch and dinner, include lean meats, fish, dairy, or plant-based options like beans, lentils, or tofu if you're vegetarian. This approach can enhance muscle protein synthesis by as much as 25% compared to eating the same amount of protein in fewer meals. And the results speak for themselves. In a 12-week study at the University of Texas, participants who followed this even distribution method gained an average of 1.2 pounds of muscle without changing anything else in their daily routines. The key takeaway? The timing of your protein may be the difference between maintaining strength and experiencing a slow, steady decline. Vitamin D, the overlooked muscle. Let's talk about a nutrient that's often forgotten when it comes to muscle strength: vitamin D. While it's best known for supporting bones, researchers now call it the muscle vitamin, and for good reason. Over 80% of older adults are deficient in it, and that deficiency could be silently draining your strength every single day. Vitamin D isn't just a passive player in your health. According to research from Harvard, it directly influences the genes responsible for muscle protein creation and repair. That's right, your muscle cells actually have specialized vitamin D receptors. When activated, these receptors spark processes that help build and maintain strong, functional muscle tissue. One powerful study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% more muscle strength than those who were deficient. They also scored higher in balance, reaction time, and coordination, all key factors in avoiding dangerous falls. Superagers, those vibrant, energetic folks in their 70s and 80s, almost always have vitamin D blood levels above 40 nmol. Meanwhile, the average senior hovers below 20 nmol, a level considered deficient. So how can you raise your vitamin D? While sunlight does help, aging skin produces about 50% less vitamin D than younger skin. That's why most older adults need to supplement. And no, 600 IUs a day isn't enough. Studies suggest the real need is between 2,000 and 4,000 IUs daily, but it's best to confirm with a blood test first. Also, don't forget about vitamin K2, an unsung hero that works alongside vitamin D. It ensures that calcium gets delivered to your bones, not your arteries. K2 is usually found in fermented foods like natto, sauerkraut, and hard cheeses. This synergy between D and K2 is crucial for preventing arterial calcification, a risk that rises when you take high doses of D without K2. Bottom line, if you're serious about keeping your muscles strong, don't overlook vitamin D. Talk to your doctor about testing your levels. Aim for over 40 nmol and support your intake with sunlight, food, and supplements as needed. Inflammation, the silent muscle killer. Let's now explore one of the most underrated factors in age-related muscle loss: chronic inflammation. You may not feel it, but low-grade, persistent inflammation, what researchers call inflammaging, is quietly accelerating muscle breakdown behind the scenes. Inflammation interferes with your body's ability to rebuild muscle, even when you're eating enough protein or exercising. It disrupts the signals that tell your body to repair and grow muscle tissue. A study from Tufts University showed that older adults with high inflammation markers lost muscle mass at 3 times the rate of those with lower inflammation, regardless of how much they exercised or how well they ate. So how do these so-called super-agers keep inflammation low and muscles strong? It starts with prioritizing sleep. Getting 7 to 8 hours of quality, uninterrupted sleep in a dark environment can lower inflammatory markers by up to 40%. Poor sleep, on the other hand, accelerates muscle loss by triggering stress hormones and inflammatory cytokines. Next is gut health, a factor many overlook. As we age, our gut bacteria change, and this imbalance fuels systemic inflammation. But you can fight back by eating a wide range of fiber-rich foods, aiming for 30+ different plant-based items each week. Add in fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut to boost good bacteria and reduce inflammation naturally. What about exercise? It matters, but intensity and frequency should be strategic. While regular movement is essential, too much high-intensity training can actually increase inflammation in older adults. Super-agers usually stick to moderate-intensity activities most days, sprinkling in brief, higher-intensity workouts once or twice a week. And then there's nutrition. Anti-inflammatory nutrients like omega-3s, curcumin from turmeric, and polyphenol-rich foods, such as green tea, berries, and extra virgin olive oil, make a powerful difference. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that this combination can cut inflammation by up to 29% in just 12 weeks. Want to see where you stand? A simple blood test called HSCRP, high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, can measure inflammation. Super-agers usually clock in below 1.0 mg/L, while the average senior tends to be 3 to 5 times higher. If you're aiming for longevity and mobility, keeping your inflammation in check is non-negotiable. Micronutrients, the missing link in muscle health. While most health advice for seniors focuses on protein, carbs, and fats, there's a critical piece of the puzzle often overlooked: micronutrients. These vitamins and minerals may be small in size, but they play a massive role in keeping your muscles strong, responsive, and energized. Let's start with magnesium, often called the forgotten electrolyte. Research from the University of Vermont shows that over 70% of older adults aren't getting enough. That's a big deal because magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic processes that affect muscle contraction, energy production, and nerve function. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors with healthy magnesium levels had 30% stronger grip strength and significantly better mobility. You can find magnesium in foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and even dark chocolate. But for many, that's not enough. Supplements such as magnesium glycinate or magnesium threonate are especially well absorbed and help close the gap. Next is creatine, not just for young athletes. Studies from McMaster University reveal that older adults who take 3 to 5 grams daily experience boosts in muscle size, strength, and even cognitive performance. Creatine helps your muscles store and use energy more efficiently, giving you more power in everyday tasks. Then there's vitamin B12, specifically in its methylated form known as methylcobalamin. As we age, our bodies absorb less B12, especially if you're taking medications like metformin or acid reducers. This vitamin is essential for nerve signaling and muscle energy. Super-agers often supplement with the active form to avoid fatigue, weakness, and balance issues. Don't forget the trace minerals: zinc, selenium, and chromium. These 3 help with protein synthesis and insulin sensitivity, 2 critical factors for muscle repair and nutrient delivery. A long-term study from Tufts University found that seniors with healthy levels of these minerals retained up to 22% more muscle mass over 5 years. Rather than relying on a generic multivitamin, those aging gracefully often test their micronutrient levels and supplement based on personal needs. This custom approach ensures they're getting what their body truly needs, without wasting money or overdosing on unnecessary pills. So if your strength isn't improving despite eating well and staying active, a hidden vitamin or mineral deficiency could be the reason. Dialing in your micronutrients might be the game changer you've been missing. Nerve-muscle connection, the hidden factor in strength loss. Here's a surprising truth. Muscle loss with age isn't just about shrinking muscle fibers. One of the first areas to decline is actually the connection between your nerves and muscles, a place called the neuromuscular junction. Think of it as a power outlet. Your brain sends the electrical signal, and if that outlet starts to wear out, your muscles won't respond no matter how much protein or exercise you throw at them. Research from the University of Michigan found that older adults who age with strength, those superagers we keep talking about, have far healthier neuromuscular connections than their peers. And the best part? You can train and preserve these connections with the right habits. The first strategy involves movements that demand coordination, timing, and balance. Activities like Tai Chi, dancing, tennis, or even ping pong challenge the brain and muscles to work together in sync. These kinds of exercises do far more than simple walking or weight training when it comes to keeping your neuromuscular system sharp. In fact, a 2020 study in the Journal of Physiology found that older adults who practiced coordination-heavy activities just twice a week improved neuromuscular function by over 30% compared to those who did basic strength training alone. The second strategy uses targeted compounds and breathing techniques. Nutrients like alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl L-carnitine help shield nerve muscle connections from oxidative stress. Certain B vitamins, like benfotiamine, a specialized form of B1, boost acetylcholine, a key chemical your nerves use to talk to muscles. Even simple breathing techniques can help. Something called box breathing, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding again for 4, activates your vagus nerve, which plays a major role in neuromuscular communication. Just 5 minutes a day can enhance your brain-to-muscle signal strength by as much as 15%. Cognitive stimulation also matters. A landmark study from Columbia University revealed that seniors who regularly engaged in brain challenges, like puzzles, learning new skills, or memory games, also showed better muscle function. Why? Because the brain and muscles are part of an integrated system. When one thrives, the other does too. Resistance training, the one habit that reverses aging muscle loss. And now we've arrived at the most powerful habit of all. The one strategy researchers say is hands down the most effective anti-aging intervention ever discovered. What is it? Progressive resistance training. But this isn't just any kind of workout. What sets super-agers apart is how they train. While many older adults stick to walking or light dumbbells, the strongest seniors push their muscles to adapt by progressively increasing challenge over time. Here's the key principle. Use it or lose it absolutely applies to muscle. But to keep it, you need to keep challenging it. Repeating the same movements with the same light resistance week after week just isn't enough after age 60. The goal isn't to move more, it's to move with more intention and intensity. In fact, a study from McMaster University showed that seniors who lifted weights close to muscle failure just twice a week saw greater muscle gains than those training 5 times a week at lower intensities. Training to failure, meaning you can't do another clean rep with good form, sends a strong anabolic signal that sparks muscle growth for up to 72 hours afterward. These individuals also prioritize compound movements, exercises that work multiple muscle groups at once. Think squats, rows, deadlifts, and overhead presses. These generate a far stronger hormonal and muscular response than isolated moves like bicep curls or leg extensions, and they can be adapted for different mobility levels. They also use the principle of progressive overload, which simply means increasing the difficulty gradually over time. Whether that's adding more weight, more reps, or slowing down the motion, it ensures that muscles never get too comfortable. Without this, progress flatlines. Another secret? They emphasize the eccentric phase, the lowering part of a movement. Slowly lowering a weight creates more tension in the muscle fibers, triggering more growth while being easier on joints. This is especially helpful for older adults starting later in life. One University of Alabama study found that people in their 70s who followed a smart resistance plan gained 3.3 pounds of muscle and increased strength by 35% in just 12 weeks, along with improvements in bone density, brain function, and blood sugar control. So what's the biggest mistake most seniors make? Thinking that lifting weights is risky or unnecessary. But the real danger is not training. That's what leads to frailty, falls, and loss of independence. Just 2 30-minute sessions a week could dramatically change the way you age. Start light, get professional guidance, and build up gradually. Your future self will thank you. You've now learned the 7 proven habits that help some 80-year-olds maintain the muscle strength of someone decades younger. Start with just one habit, the one that feels easiest for you, and layer on more over time. Your strength, independence, and vitality are in your hands. We'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits are you already doing? Do you know someone in their 70s or 80s who defies aging norms? Leave a comment, share your story, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on aging strong and living well.